shorts. I got the wrong shorts on. Zach Life beat depression on day 746, and we're back with another fix of somatic healing sessions to wipe out depression. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Now, anyone who's tuning in later, as you guys know, it is a Water Flow Wednesday. I've worn the wrong shorts today, so cargo shorts. But the good news is it is a low-intensity active recovery session. So I don't necessarily need my gym shorts because we're not going to go at high intensity. For those of you who have been here before, you know it's a martial arts for mental health show, and we like to focus in on those mental health tools first. So the first and foremost, the biggest one we're going to talk about is gratitude. The more we practice it, the more powerful it can become in our lives, helping us to find those silver linings, focus on the things that we have to look forward to. And even if you can't find something to be grateful for, just simply asking the question to yourself, what am I grateful for, can help rewire, reshape the brain, rebalance that chemical equation going on in the brain to help you have a more positive outlook on life and make it easier to find those things. Feel free to fact check me. Check out the studies. There's been studies done showing that. I believe it's a UCLA study. I could be wrong, but either way, many people all over the world can attest to the power of gratitude. So my gratitude today, going out to those who are in right now. Mad with Hats, Lisa the Luminary. Appreciate you out there. Appreciate you turning up, staying consistent. And I also want to shout out gratitude to Century Martial Arts and Kids Kick Cancer for that awesome fundraiser / movement that they're doing out there to support kids with cancer, and also supporting us with the repost, getting the message out there to help others. It is National Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month, so it's perfect timing to take the 10 kick challenge. We'll do some kicks today in low intensity mode, nice and easy active recovery mode, so you can prep for that. But it is also Suicide Awareness Month, and that is just as important as largely important topic that we need to talk about in order to help one another. So let's talk about that. One of the main reasons that I share these lessons, one of the core, right down to the very core of it, is the fact that that bag helped me overcome suicidal ideation. So in my darkest hours, when I was dealing with the worst time of my life, I was dealing with clinical depression. I was suffering from debilitation, sometimes unable to get out of bed, unable to get out in the world, and I had suicidal ideation creep in. That's one of those things that depression facilitates. They go hand in hand. Depression often leads to suicidal ideation, and that is what it did for me. It slowly but surely crept in day after day, with just first the idea of it happening, and then it became more and more frequent as I was going through my daily life. I would go to work and start to have these thoughts come in out of nowhere, and they just became more and more frequent to the point where I started to visualize it, started to think about ways that I could end it, and I started seeing that moment replay over and over in my head, until one day it was the only thing that I could think about. When I woke up in the morning, the only thing on my mind was, today's going to be the day, I'm going to end it. And that is when I wound up in the emergency room. After calling my therapist, I couldn't see them. And they called the suicide hotline, which is an amazing resource available to anybody out there dealing with suicidal ideation. Or if you have a friend who's in need, please do look up that suicide hotline number. They are available 24 hours a day to give you professional advice. They're qualified to give you advice if you're dealing with these thoughts. But going back to the core of what I'm doing out here, we're sharing mental health tools that help people overcome suicidal ideation. Like I said before, just relating and sharing my experience, this crept in slowly but surely, and it became more and more and more apparent until it was completely consuming, and that's all I could think about. And during this time, I was in therapy and on medication, but continuing to have this kind of downward spiral in my mental health. And what stopped that suicidal ideation was not the therapy, and it was not the medication. It was that bag. It was creating a daily training routine and continuing to hit that bag with consistency that showed me that my time was valuable, that my time was worth it, and that I could do whatever I wanted with my time. I could build myself up. I could build a better future for myself, and maybe even a better future for others if I stay alive. right? If I keep going, it doesn't have to end here. The pain can stop here, but the life doesn't have to stop here. We can make it go as long as we want. And if we don't check out, then we have a chance to improve our lives. We have a chance to improve our environment and our life experience. And that's what that bag showed me without a therapist. That's what that bag showed me without medication. And it allowed me to come off of medication and out of therapy and into the world to create this program where we share other tools that work for one another. So I really just wanted to talk about that. It has been, since I made it a daily training routine, it has been 746 days with 0 days of suicidal ideation. So let that sink in. Please share this message with anybody that you think could benefit from it. And even if you don't think that they could benefit from it, share it anyway, because stigma is preventing us from talking about it, and that's one of the walls we need to break in order to move forwards. So that is why I'm here every single day. First and foremost, keeps me alive, keeps me happy. And secondly, I get to share it and have that effect on other people as well, be a part of that process. You guys are doing the work, you're putting in the consistency, you're the ones who deserve credit for the results, but I'm here publicly sharing it with you because it worked for me. And if I share it, it can work. It can be even better than just alone. So that is that. That's why we're talking about that second mental health tool. Progress tracking, keeping track of the number of days only makes this effect more and more powerful the more you keep track of your progress and share it with others. So it's been 746 days of consecutive progress for me. Let me know how many days it's been for you. We don't even have enough time for me to tell you all the different ways that has benefited my life. But I'm sure you will experience them if you continue to show up for yourself and for others. Shout out to Mad with Hats, who shared his days, 164 days of progress. Good stuff, brother. And he says, much as I struggle with showing up. And that's the thing. It's never going to be 100% easy. It's never going to be a cakewalk all the time. Sometimes it's going to be really difficult to get up and get on your feet. Other times it'll be easy. But the fact is, you can prove to yourself, no matter how difficult it is, that you're capable, right? You're not stuck. You're not trapped. You can make that progress. This number, let that number remind you that you have made that progress, and you can continue to look forward to making that progress in the future, no matter what is happening, no matter how difficult it is to get up and move forward. So I'm proud of you for being here. Please do give yourself credit for 164 days. That's a tremendous amount of time, man. Shout out as well to Slayer Ken at 354 days, crushing it out there. Ken said, this is quite the good war story you're sharing here, bro. These hardships will only make us stronger if you fought through them day by day, one by one, each and every step. Yes, absolutely. It's 100% made me stronger for the last 746 days. Goodbye, suicidal ideation. 0 days of suicidal ideation. Also 0 days of debilitation. I've been up on my feet, fighting forwards, and I know I can look forward to the next 746 days. And you guys can look forward to the next however many days you have given yourself proof of your endurance, your strength, your mental resiliency. So thank you guys for sharing. That being said, it is a Water Flow Wednesday, so we're going to drop that intensity down. We're going to take it nice and easy, nice and slow. We're going to practice. We'll throw some fundamentals in there. We're going to be focusing in on another powerful mental health tool known as breath work. It's a diaphragmic breathing tool. We'll have some calming music coming out of that retro synth boombox back there, encoded with binaural beats, which can help calm the mind, enter a meditative state, increase REM sleep. So all of those things can be felt if you're wearing headphones and we're broadcasting in stereo, which we're not here. But if you want to feel that full effect, please do download from saclifeofficial.com. You can download that music on all streaming platforms. You can also stream it on Spotify with headphones. See if it works for you. Totally free. Just search artist, saclifeofficial.com. The music itself raises awareness to these tools at the same time. And if you're having a good experience, please do share it with the world. That being said, we're going to go straight through 10 minutes. Make sure you are fully hydrated. If you need water, get it now. It is going to be low intensity. We are going to be focusing on this calming breathwork tool. It's a very powerful mental health tool. It can help us through a lot of anxious or high-stress situations. So let's cover that first, and then I'll show you how we're going to link it with movement And then we'll start getting into a breakdown on some basic kicks, maybe some oblique kick in there too, oblique kick action. And we'll take that pace nice and slow and give ourselves that active recovery session that we deserve. So first and foremost is the breath work tool. Let's place one hand over the chest, one hand over the belly. Chest is going to stay nice and flat. We're going to take a deep breath in through the nose, fill in the belly with air, keeping the chest where it is, and then long and slow exhale out the mouth with resistance, twice as long as the inhale. Let's do it together. Deep breath in through the nose to the belly. Hold. Long and slow exhale out the mouth. And that is it. It's that simple. Keeping that chest flat and breathing with the belly through the nose will activate the sympathetic nervous system, which will calm that heart rate, drop that anxiety level, and give us that clear peace of mind, grounding us into the moment where we can think clearly and we can make logical decisions and see that we're more powerful than those thoughts or experiences, those temporary feelings that our bodies or minds might put us through. So that's the breathwork tool, deep diaphragmatic breathing. Now we're going to link that tool with movement, and then we'll go through a 10-minute flow-based session where you can link any striking patterns that you enjoy at home into your personal routine. Take them nice and slow, let the breath be your guide, and that'll give you that active recovery sesh. Mental stress relief, super effective grounding tool through both movement, breath work, meditation, and positive directional focus. We're going to get it all going today. So, that being said, talking about the breathwork tool, on that deep inhale back through the nose to the belly, we're going to assume our fighting stance, right, our defensive stance. And then on the exhale, nice and slow, we're going to follow that exhale with our striking patterns. Turn nice and slow, linking the movement, right, that movement speed, with that breath coming out of the mouth from that diaphragmatic breathing tool. So on the inhale, we're assuming defensive stance. On the exhale, we're flowing through. And we want our final strike to land right at the end of that breath. So we can switch right over to the nose and take that deep breath back into the belly. If we're only throwing one strike, you can do up to 3 strikes total and keep it at low intensity. If you're doing just one strike, we want to slow that strike down to take enough time to fully exhale through that whole breath. So let's try it together. Deep breath into the nose, through the nose to the belly. Long and slow exhale. Out the mouth, and we're landing right at the end of that breath. Deep inhale through the nose to the belly. And we're returning to defensive stance. And that is it. It's as simple as that. If we're using multiple strikes, we want multiple strikes in there, all on one long exhale. So 1 strike, 1 exhale, 2 strikes, 1 exhale, 3 strikes, 1 exhale, all the way through that breath. Just let it flow. And like I said before, you can use any striking pattern you'd like. You can follow me visually, or you can use anything you like from any striking martial arts form. Taekwondo, Kenpo, anything, Muay Thai, even Western boxing, all of it. Any striking pattern can be used. Any tool that you enjoy using. If you like kicks, knees, elbows, headbutts, you can throw a headbutt in there, in slow motion if you know it. Whatever you'd like. Make this class your own. That way it can be fun and effective for you at the same time. That being said, that's enough chatting. Let's get our calming music going. We're going to visualize that opponent ahead of us, as we always do, to keep it accurate. Hobo Tactical, thank you so much for your support. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your quality products out there and saving me in Death Valley, dude. I'll never forget that you brought me water and goods and beef jerky and all that stuff while I was stranded out there. I really appreciate it, man. And looking forward to not being stranded in Death Valley, but being back out in your area sometime in the near future when we get that bus tour going again. So maybe we can link up later, do some cross-promo stuff. Keep in touch, brother. All right, let's do this thing. Bam.
Bluetooth.
We're switching over. We're getting the calming music going. And it is time for active recovery. So let's focus in on that breath. Absolutely, bro. Let's focus in on that breath. We're going to get the timer going right now. We're going through a nice, slow-moving, breathwork-focused, active recovery session. Take that deep breath into the belly as you raise the guard up to the brow line, closing the fingers, tucking the thumbs. Tuck that chin in. Long and slow exhale through jab cross. We're exhaling through the mouth. We're pivoting on the ball of each foot. And we're finishing that breath, bam, right at that point of impact. Deep breath into the belly. Hold that breath in the belly, long and slow. Exhale through jab cross. Tucking the chin into the shoulders, keeping it on the center line all the way through. We've got the thumb tucked under the top two fingers, squeezing that fist at the point of impact. Deep inhale back. Hold that breath in the belly, long and slow. Exhale through jab cross. Right down that center line. Deep inhale back. Guard high. Long and slow. Exhale through jab cross. Really connect with the breath. Let that breath keep your pace nice and steady. Deep inhale back to the belly. Now we're going to shake the arms out, shake out that lactic acid. Get nice and loose. We're going to start switching over to kicks now. These are some kicks you can use for that 10 kick challenge if you're joining. Take that deep breath into the belly and assume your fighting position. Holding the breath in the belly, long and slow. Exhale through a stepping. Lead T. Boom. Curl those toes back, drive through the hips. If you can hold it, hold it. Deep inhale back. Guard high, long and slow. Exhale forwards to lead T. Fully exhale in striking position. Curving those toes back, using the ball of the foot to press. And deep inhale back through the nose. Back to defensive position. Let's toss some hands in there. Nice and slow. Deep inhale back. Guard high. Let's do that rear teep now. Remember, swing through the hips. And if you lose your balance, don't worry. Just reset to a neutral position. Return to that breath. Take that deep inhale up to the belly. Assume a defensive stance. Long exhale through rear teep. Tucking the chin will help with that balance. Deep inhale back. Back to stance. Long exhale forward. Jab cross. Deep inhale back. Let's go with a low round kick now. Nice and slow. Long exhale. Small step out. Toss that foot through. On that low plane, get creative with it. Deep inhale back, return to fundamentals, jab cross, through that exhale. Fully exhale there, deep inhale back. Let's toss some knees, lead knee strike. That was the rear knee. Rear knee strike forwards, deep inhale back. Like to stay creative with it here. Flow through some jab cross. Deep inhale back through the nose to the belly. Let's toss in a taekwondo style chop kick. So for this, what we're going to do is we're just going to toss that knee up, bring that knee forwards, and then chop the arm and chamber that kick right at the knee. We're going to chamber that kick. Nice square stance, taekwondo style. Take that deep breath in through the nose to the belly. And we're going to do a chambered kick here. Bringing the knee up and then chopped. We're chopping that leg boom, at the same time that we chop the arm. Up. Nice and slow. Follow the breath as you got. Deep breath into the belly. And we're going to do a chambered taekwondo style kick here. Deep inhale back. Back to stance. Let's do it on the opposite side. Chambered lead kick. Boom. Bringing the knee up first, and then chopping, boom, chopping at that knee for that chambered style kick. You can drive the heel in there for pressure, or you can drive the point, the ball of the foot in there as well. Back to stance. Shout out to Shawnee Boy, I appreciate you. Take that deep breath in and return to defensive stance. Let's shake out the arms first. If you need water, grab some water, stay hydrated. Let's return to that breathwork tool to make sure intensity stays low. Keeping that heart rate low. Hand over chest, hand over belly. Deep breath in through the nose. Fill that belly with air. Hold it. Long and slow exhale. Twice as long as that inhale. Purse lips on that exhale. Deep inhale again. Through the nose to the belly. Hold. Long and slow exhale out the mouth. back to stance. Let's return to our training. Deep inhale to the belly as you assume defensive position. Guard high, chin tucked, hips curled, shoulders rolled, right? Tuck those hands, tuck those thumbs in. Long and slow exhale through a nice cross. Rotating on that back foot, sending that fist straight forwards. Deep inhale back. Taking it nice and slow. Long exhale through lead elbow. Step in. Fully exhale in that striking position. And deep inhale back through the nose to the belly. As you return to defensive stance. Now I'm free flowing here. I want you guys to do the same. You can use any striking pattern you want. Just link it with that breath. Keep it nice and slow and controlled. Link it into that breathwork tool for active recovery. Deep inhale to the belly. Long exhale forward into a strike. Fully exhale at that point of impact. Deep inhale back to the belly. Long exhale forwards. Let's do 2 strikes. 1 long exhale, 2 strikes. Deep inhale back through the nose to the belly. Hold that breath in. Long and slow exhale forwards. And there it is. Deep inhale back. Guard high, chin tuck, shoulders rolled. Long exhale forward, double strikes. Head on the center line, tucking that chin in to the shoulder for defense. Deep inhale back. Hold that breath in the belly. Long exhale forwards through some uppercuts. Deep inhale back. Through the nose to the belly. Let's keep it flowing. Long exhale through jab cross. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. Deep inhale back. Long exhale through roundhouse. Back to stance, fully exhaling there. If you lose balance or pace, remember, just return to a neutral stance. You can shake out those arms, shake out that lactic acid, and reset with that breath. Deep inhale to the belly as you assume defensive stance. We're going to do some teep kicks now. Lifting that lead leg, lead teep. Sink on the rear knee, tuck the chin for added balance. Keeping the guard high on the opposite hand. Hand on the same side is going to chop back as that leg goes forwards. And return to defensive stance. Deep inhale to the belly. Long exhale forwards through deep. Deep inhale back. Long exhale forwards through deep. And deep inhale back. Guard high, long exhale through jab cross. Remember to free flow at home. Shout out to Bobby Two Hands, appreciate you. Deep inhale back to defensive stance. Holding that breath in the belly to keep it low intensity. Long exhale through, creative striking, whatever strikes you like. Fully exhale, making contact at the end of that breath with your final strike. Deep inhale back through the nose to the belly. Guard high by the brow line, long exhale through strikes. Back to stance, deep inhale back. Long exhale forwards through strikes. And deep inhale back. Holding that breath in the belly, long and slow exhale forwards. Move nice and slow, following that breath as a pattern. Deep inhale back. Holding that breath in the belly, long exhale forwards. Deep inhale back. And let's return to the power of that breath. And make sure that we're calming that nervous system. Hand over the chest, hand over the belly, we're taking it down. Deep inhale through the nose to the belly, chest flat. Hold on to that breath. Long and slow exhale out the mouth. Deep inhale through the nose to the belly. onto it. Long and slow exhale out the mouth. Exhale twice as long as that inhale. Deep inhale again to the belly. Hold on to it. Long and slow exhale out the mouth. And then it's going to be the end of our Water Flow Wednesday. That was a 10-minute round. Hopefully you're feeling those calming effects of that moving meditation, of that breathwork tool, and that slow movement, focusing in on all those different areas that we can improve, all those minute details that we can improve in our striking patterns, in our striking stance. There's really unlimited room for growth. There's unlimited room for progress in life and in martial arts. So please do explore out there. Find the martial arts that you enjoy most. Find that striking pattern that you enjoy most. And if it's not martial arts, there are other ways as well. Getting walking, running, jogging, doing physical exercise. Just find those tools that resonate with you as an individual. That way you can give yourself a super effective routine at fighting back against depression. And until next time, I'll catch you guys same exact time, same exact channel, same exact life. Zach Man out.